get more rental arbitrage units. But then it's like, what are you owning at the end of the day? At least own something, you know? And I understand different routes that you can get tenants and different ways to navigate you making income on your property without just having a regular tenant. So I don't have to be the one actually investing money in.
Right.
I'm still making money by doing what I already know in my head. Really taking people to the next level. Like, I really want to grow. I want to impact my community in a positive way. And I already see what I do alone in my business impacts people's lives in a positive way.
Welcome back to another episode of the Millionaire Essentials podcast. You know I'm the host, Brandon the Provider.
Yes, sir. And it's Tevin Facey. How you guys doing today? We have a special guest today, all right? If you are in NYC and you don't know this real estate agent, then you got a problem.
Real estate investor.
Oh, sorry. Agent, investor, and
overall
more.
personality.
Right.
See, I know her by Yuhniece.
That's Bella.
I know Yuhniece.
Bro, it's Bella. When you go on Instagram, what is your Instagram? Oh, no, you changed it.
I changed it. It's
Exactly.
Yuhniece.
I know Yuhniece. I don't know who Bella is.
Oh, my God.
It's now Yuhniece.
Okay.
So we going by Yuhniece. That's
Appreciate you for coming
My birthday.
by, Yuhniece.
Thank
Slash
you.
Miss Bella Bomb.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. How are you guys?
Excellent,
great.
excellent,
Doing
great. So that brings an interesting topic. Who is Yuhniece?
Yeah, because I don't know. I know Bella. I don't know who Yuhniece is.
That's so funny. Yuhniece, that's my real name. I'm Yuhniece Ogunleye. And I'm a girl from Brooklyn, New York. I started my entrepreneurship journey when I was like 14, selling cookies in high school.
Okay.
And then from there, just got bigger and bigger and bigger. I started an eyewear company. That's where Bella Bomb came. And then, I got into real estate. Well, I got into sales, then I got into real estate, did credit repair. So now we're here with real estate all the way.
Okay, so real estate all the way. So you're not just an agent, you are a real estate investor just in itself.
Yeah, so I do invest in short-term rentals,
Okay.
Airbnb, rental arbitrage, and I teach other people how to do the same thing as well.
Okay, that's beautiful, beautiful. You are an agent though?
Yeah, I'm a licensed real estate agent in New York.
Exactly,
So I
exactly.
can help sell your home, help you buy a home, help you rent your apartment, and help you find an apartment.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful.
What I like about Yuhniece, right? When I first spoke to her, we could hear where she's from. Well, I could hear where she's from.
Oh no, of course you can.
Because
She's
every
definitely from
time
Brooklyn.
I go everywhere, people be like, "Oh, you from Brooklyn? You from New York?" Because of how I talk.
No. She. is
When I heard her
definitely from
talk, I was like, "Yeah,
Brooklyn. No,
I'm not
she
the
from
only
Brooklyn.
one."
Yeah,
I'm not the only
yeah,
one.
she's definitely from Brooklyn.
So,
Very much from Brooklyn.
and you said something special, right? You specialize in short-term rentals.
Yeah, so when it comes to me being an agent, I do specialize in the rental side of the real estate, whether it's long-term rentals, mid-term rentals, or short-term rentals.
Okay.
So people have a stigma in New York, especially, right? It is extremely hard doing quote unquote Airbnb, short-term rentals, mid-term rentals, things of that nature. So break down, like, how'd you get such a lockhold or stronghold on the short-term, mid-term rentals in New York, and go about the process of you building that up.
So when I got my first Airbnb in New York, my first one ever was in 2021. That was in Nashville. But my first one in New York was 2023, and it was in Brownsville. And it was it's so funny. It was across the street from,
BRC?
no, the other park with the pool.
Betsy Head?
Betsy Head.
But
But
definitely from Brooklyn. I don't know shit.
but it did numbers because I promoted it as a dog park and a track and field area. So it was it brought a lot of tourists wanted to stay there, and they did. So at the time the law wasn't in place, so you could do short-term rentals in Airbnb. Airbnb in New York City, you could do short-term rentals. They could stay for less than 30 days. So around September 5th, 2023.
Or 2024.
I'm trying to think right now.
No, it's 2023. Yes, you are correct.
2023, that's when the law came out where you need the permit in order to do short-term rentals, and a lot of people had to switch their Airbnbs over from less than 30-day stays to 30 days minimum.
midterm.
Yeah, so from there, I was able to still keep getting midterm guests. I even locked in with insurance companies. So with insurance companies, whenever there's a natural disaster or something happens to somebody's home, they have they have policies. and they look for places that are like Airbnbs for those clients to stay at, and they pay top dollar. So you can get a guest that's gonna pay $6,000 or $8,000 a month for your apartment.
Right, for
so
3 months or something like
yeah,
that.
whether it's 3 months, 2 months, sometimes 4 or 5 months. And so I had a few of those deals. I even had those in Nashville as well. So that helped me. And then when my lease ended, my landlord wanted to increase my rent tremendously, and I was like, nah, I'm not having that.
Right.
So I winded up turning my father's basement into an Airbnb. I redid the whole thing. It's really beautiful. And I got the permits and stuff. So for New York City, now with the law in place, you have to have the permit. The way the permit works is if you get the permit, you have to stay in the house. So if you got the permit before September 5th, it would just work. You could do short-term stays. It doesn't matter. You don't have to stay there.
Right.
But after September 5th, you have to at least be living in one of the rooms.
Owner occupied.
You have to house hack, basically.
Exactly. So you have to be staying there. And then if you don't stay there, it has to be midterm. And then if it's not midterm, then your building has to be a Class B building, which is like
commercial.
Like commercial mix or like a SRO.
Okay.
So hold on.
Single room occupancy.
Yes, you got to break down these terms. Right? So for our audience, right, we gonna break this down very granular, right? Because you're very experienced, and we want to highlight that and knowledgeable and successful in your field, right?
Oh yeah,
So
highlight black women. I love that. That was
Yes.
I like that.
Yes, because
Young.
this is Black
Black Women's Month. Yes.
Women
Well, no,
History
it's Black
Month.
Women's Month. Yeah.
Period.
Word.
Black Women's Month.
Break down the difference between short term and midterm and long term. Like, what are these? What are the differences between?
Yes,
these?
so short-term rentals are rentals that you can stay at for less than 30 days. So whether you're staying for 2 days, whether you're staying for a week, whether you're staying for 2 weeks, anything that's less than 30 days is a short-term rental. When you stay at a hotel, those are short-term rentals unless you are staying more than 30 days. Mm-hmm. Anything from 30 days to 6 months, anything less than 12 months is a midterm stay. So anything less than 12 months is a midterm stay. Has to be more than 30, less than 12. So more than 30 days, less than 12 months.
Gotcha.
And anything 12 months, like a 12-month lease or more than a 12-month lease, is a long term.
Okay. Got you.
Perfect.
That's a long term rental.
And you said something before, which was SRO. I knew what it is, but for our audience, what is SRO?
So a SRO is a single room occupancy dwelling, and that could be a house. A lot of brownstones back in the day, their original certificate of occupancy is a single room occupancy. So that means
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like each room is like its
renting
own,
rooms.
Yeah, and it's like its own dwelling in this.
So are those considered like rooming houses then? Or
yes.
Okay, so a lot of the houses in you said Brownsville.
No, brownstones.
Brownstones,
So that
okay.
would be Bed-Stuy,
Okay.
Crown Heights,
Got
stuff
you.
like that.
So
So a lot of brownstones, even the ones in Harlem and stuff like that.
Got you. So a lot of them were originally
SROs.
Okay, got you. Classified as that. Okay. Okay, perfect.
Nice. Like, so I want to highlight, like I said, the success you've been having, right? Because I see you all over the gram, all over the place. Like, you really doing it, and you're playing both sides. You're actually an agent, and you invest into short-term rentals. So on the agent side, because a lot of people think when you get in real estate, I have to be an agent, or I have to do this. Explain what is your experience being an agent and how you're able to benefit being an agent and also invest yourself.
So the benefits for me is more like, as an agent, I'm helping my clients. I'm either putting them in a place or I'm working with landlords and I'm getting their place rented. So because I already know the ins and outs, especially of New York City rental market, period, and I understand different routes that you can get tenants and different ways to navigate you making income on your property without just having a regular tenant, I benefit my clients a lot. Like, I'm very valuable to them because you don't have to just put a tenant in here. We can do a short-term stay. We could do a midterm stay for a little bit until, we decide, okay, and then we could switch it over at any time. Not only that, I also educate them. I work with a lot of voucher programs, clients. So I help them understand how much they could really be making opposed to what their mortgage is. So if you want to work with regular cash tenants, this is the price you need to be at because it needs to also be affordable. If you start accepting programs, then you can make more money because the city is going to pay you more. And then I also vet and do a very thorough screening with the clients that I put inside of my landlord clients' houses. So it's always a win-win.
So you're not necessarily selling a bunch of houses. You're making money off rentals.
Yeah, I make a lot of money off rentals.
All right.
Wow.
All right. All right. Hold
Wow,
up.
wow, wow, wow. Hold up.
Because when I think of real estate agents, right?
Yes.
I think, all right, you got to sell a whole bunch of
Gotta
listings.
sell.
And then I go to all these events. I see all these real estate agents in New York, especially struggling because we already know the concrete jungle. It's hard to
And
sell
the
houses
housing
out here.
market.
You got your
Exactly.
lawyers in a place. It takes 6, 7, 8 months.
I
All of
know.
the rules that's currently going in right now, especially the rental laws. But you're now on the flip side saying, I'm going to make my cash with the rentals.
Yeah. And then even sometimes when I'm helping them either do a midterm or a short-term stay, I also, because I know how to run the business and I have my own Airbnbs, I then go ahead and co-host on theirs. So now I'm property managing. So I'm making money in different ways.
And that's I was literally just about to ask, have you thought about moving down the route of becoming or opening up a branch inside of what you're already currently doing to say, hey, I'm an agent, I'm an investor, and now I can be a property manager for you as well. But I mean, you just kind of answered that. I mean, like you said, we're highlighting her experience. We're highlighting the brilliance in what she's doing and who she is. And I think that's something that is to be highlighted outside of just it being Women's Month, right? You have been doing this for how long have you been doing this?
I first started Airbnbs in 2021. I first became an agent in 2019, but I didn't take real estate serious until literally like
2021.
No, because I was taking Airbnb more serious.
Right.
Real estate for real, I want to say 2022 going into 2023.
About the towards the end of COVID.
Right.
Yeah,
That's about towards the end of COVID.
Towards the end of COVID, so like very beginning 2023.
Okay, gotcha. And then what were you doing? What would you say you were doing before real estate?
Before real estate, so since I got licensed in 2019 and 19, it was I was doing door-to-door sales at a time. Then I got into the credit repair space. So with the credit repair space, I was making so much money. It was like, okay, real estate is on the side.
Right.
Then when I got into the Airbnb space, I'm like, I really like this, and I just was able to scale so quickly. I started taking real estate serious again.
Right.
So as I started taking it serious, it was just it was always easy for me to do rentals. Rentals were just always quick, fast, and I always was like, okay, because at the time when I was doing other things, I would only work with clients if like they had certain budgets and stuff like that. So like as I got back into it, it was like,
oh, I can help this person, I can help that person.
yeah, I
can
can, exactly, and it became so fulfilling for me because that was actually something I asked God about. So last year, literally around this time, it was probably February, I was literally saying, even though I was making money in other businesses, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. Like, I just wasn't feeling satisfied. So I was asking God, I said, God, just plant me where you want me to be. Let me do the things that you want me to be doing. Let me impact people, the way I'm meant to be and serve, So literally that year is when my business just like exploded. It was so good. Like last year was a great year for me with just straight rentals. And just straight rentals and Airbnb. And I really saw the impact I had on so many people's lives. Like the way they talk to me, the way they say they appreciate my work ethic and how I like just vouch for them and go hard for them, especially clients that are in the shelter and have vouchers. And it's hard for them, especially because a lot of agents don't want to work with them.
Right.
So...
Nah, that's very amazing because we talk to a lot of business owners, right? And a lot of them struggle with success because they think, oh, I have to have 7 streams of income doing this, this, and this. But you're a perfect example of what we break down on adding verticals to your focus and adding multiple sources of income. Point being, you're a real estate agent. So not only are you getting people tenants and in properties, you're getting paid off for that. Now you're saying, I'm going to manage your Airbnb business. And now you can help scale your Airbnb business and short-term rentals on top of that. So you're creating 3, 4, 5 sources of income. And you know credit. So you could probably fix the tenant's credit or the landlord's credit or this person that wants to buy credit as well.
Literally. So now what I do is even with the credit part, because I still do consultations sometimes with clients, but I'm not the one doing the work. I have someone that actually does all the work and everything. And
you have a team.
Yeah. And I still make money off of it. So it's like, that's perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. You're just an overall businesswoman at this point. And I love to see the growth because I know we met a long time ago.
Yeah.
We met a long time ago. I think it was at Herman's event at HCO in Brooklyn Bank, right?
Yeah.
I think that was when we first met. And obviously to see the differences between now and then is astronomical, right? A question I wanted to ask as far as when it comes down to Airbnb, right? So I know you said you started in Tennessee.
Yeah.
right? Why did you specifically start in Tennessee and not home here in New York at that time?
So at that time, I didn't even know we could do Airbnb in New York. I thought it was always illegal. So in 2021, I just automatically assumed it was illegal because that was like a thing you would hear all the time.
Right.
So I first wanted to just go to Atlanta and do it because that's where everybody was, So I was like, okay, let me try in Atlanta. But I was not getting approved as far as like nobody was saying yes to me doing corporate housing, short-term rentals. So because I wasn't trying to do it under the table, I was trying to
do
at
it
least.
The legal way.
Yes, the legal way. Let the
landlord
leasing
know.
management. Yeah, let them know exactly what I'm trying to do, who's gonna be staying here.
Yeah.
So I was getting a lot of no's, and I was telling my cousin, and he was like, "Come to Nashville." He was like, "You need to come to Nashville." I was like, "You sure?" He's like, "Yeah." He has houses out there, and he was like, "He's making money." He was like, "I'm making money out here. Come." And I was like, okay. So I started looking at some apartments. I literally was looking at apartments in Nashville. I applied for some. And the building I really, really wanted, I applied to. At the same time, I was in Miami applying for apartments in Miami. And I got approved for Nashville and Miami at the same time. And I winded up going. I actually had a dream before. Like the night before I got approved for Nashville, I had a dream that I got approved for the apartment in Miami. When I woke up, I got a phone call saying like, oh, okay, your application's been approved. And it was Nashville. So I was like, okay. So I was like, maybe my dream's about Nashville. Then the day after, I wound up getting approved for the apartment in Miami too. But I went with Nashville. And
did you do that because your cousin was there already and Miami didn't really have nobody there?
Yeah. Okay. So it's like I did have people already out there. And yeah, with the Miami, I knew like I'm going to definitely have to build a team, even though I still wound up building a team in Nashville regardless. So.
Right.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit, right?
Okay.
Let's break down some game, right? Because you're definitely the one to break this down. All right, I'm trying to get into short-term rentals, right? Yeah. In today's market, what's the first thing I need to start to do to recognize a location and then set up a team and get going to make some profit?
Yeah, this is actually perfect with my question because this is exactly going down that route.
Okay, so you're looking to start rental arbitrage. So
yes.
That's the route I would tell you.
And what is arbitrage? You got what is arbitrage?
So rental arbitrage is literally when you are leasing a property, you're leasing an apartment, you are the long-term tenant there, and you obviously have permission from the landlord to sublease it out for short-term stays. So whether guests are staying, whether it's going to be on Airbnb, Vrbo, different short-term rental platforms.
Should I buy or should I arbitrage?
I would say if you're starting off to do rental arbitrage. And then as you're making money, definitely the goal should always be ownership. And that's what I like to tell everyone, because sometimes the goal is just, some people's goal is get more rental arbitrage units. But then it's like, what are you owning at the end of the day? At least own something,
Yeah, because the landlord or leasing man, they can always cut you at
Yes,
any point.
and I've experienced that. I've actually experienced that with my Nashville Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what happened? Okay, back to your question though. How should you get started? I would say the first thing you do, you can start looking at units. But first thing I would definitely tell you to do, make sure you have your LLC, you have your business structured properly. Make sure your credit is right, because you want to use business credit. You want to be able to leverage business credit in order to invest into these things, your furniture and everything, your flight, depending on if it's in a different state. You want to be able to leverage business credit, rack up points, and a 0% APR credit card would be the best, which is a Chase one, the Chase Inc. That's the card I use. Is 0% APR for the first 12 months, and that way, at least for the next 3 months, all you're doing is paying back what you spent. You're not paying any interest on top of it.
And I'm gonna tell you the crazy part. We're getting Chase Inc. cards by the boatload for our clients.
Okay.
50, 60, 70, 80K.
Well, I got a client right now.
Okay,
So-
Send them over.
let's go.
And I'm
So-
gonna redo their basement.
There you
with their
go.
Funding.
Perfect.
So we get a client a Chase Inc. card, right? Let's just say 50K, because that's the average we're getting.
Okay.
What is the first thing they're spending on?
Okay, so that means their LLC credit, everything is good. First thing they're gonna be spending on maybe like application fees, because they'll be looking for the apartments and things like that. When you're looking for the apartment, always look for the places that have you'll see on Zillow, it'll say property owner. Those are the best, because now you have direct access to the person who owns the property.
Okay.
And you can build rapport with them, and it's easier for them to like understand your business plan, your model, and then accept that. So I find it easier working with the landlord up front opposed to working with an agent. or working directly with the leasing office, and the leasing office already accepts that type of business model.
Right. Okay.
So you'll probably spend money on your application fees. After that, and you get approved, you'll start purchasing your furniture. And I like to put together a spreadsheet. So I make a spreadsheet and I make vision boards. So I call them mood boards. That's what we learn in fashion. They're called mood boards. So what's your mood board?
Pinterest.
Yeah, you can make it on Pinterest too.
Yeah.
And you go ahead, you put in your theme together, and you put all those stuff together, and your budget sheet matches that, because you want to make sure you have a set budget so you're not overspending. Sometimes, like, when we see things for houses that are nice, you start spending extra money that's not necessary. So you only want to spend on what is necessary for a person to feel comfortable in this place. So you spend on that, you spend on assemblymen, you spend on toiletries, things like that, house supplies.
The small things.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think.
Where the profit come in at? Where the money at?
Oh, that's once you start getting booked. So, after everything, the place is finished, you list it, and then you start making your money. The money does come in quickly. Like, within the first 12 hours, you may get a few bookings coming in already. And you also want to just also promote the business. People don't like to promote their Airbnbs for some reason.
Yeah, they just throw it up.
Yeah.
Because I think, so that leads me to market, right?
Yeah.
So it's always like, Miami's hot now. No, you can't do it in Miami. New York is hot now. No, not New York in the summertime. So how do you Nashville may be hot now. Mm-hmm. How do you recognize the market, the season, and when it's profitable this season or when it's not profitable that season? How are you recognizing the markets?
So with me, I realized it through experience, and I realized that it's not just in this one state; it's other places too. So for me, once February comes, February all the way up until September is hot. Like, it's hot. Like, you're making money. Bookings are coming in. From October to January is slow season.
That's in New York.
Yeah, that's Nashville too.
Okay.
So yeah,
just in general.
Yeah, and I've felt that also in New York as well. But New York
I felt
market
it in Jersey too.
Okay, yeah. But New York market though is actually good, because I have an Airbnb in Long Island, and that one you don't need any permits for at all, and it still was getting bookings throughout the whole
entire year.
No, I just got that in November. So
okay, gotcha.
So like November, December, January were great. February was slow, but we wound up getting a 1 month booking. But that's where the promotion also comes into place. Don't be scared to promote your business, because people are gonna like it and people are gonna want to book. The Airbnb I have in Long Island, people are always writing me, okay, can I book for this date? Can I book for that date? So those are bookings. Those are direct bookings, off market bookings.
Wow. Got you.
Yeah, she broke it out. I sold my Long Island house, but I think that was a route that I was actually thinking about going down with the house that I had in Long Island, because
you should have gave it to her. He was right by the arena too.
I was right by UBS.
My God.
He's right across the street from USB.
I'm dead serious. I was right by UBS.
The one I have is all the way in like Wine Dance.
Yeah, no, the UBS, and I have had the LIRR was right there.
Okay.
Because they just put in a new station over there too.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been perfect, but decisions, right? But anyways,
look at her face.
She's like, yeah, well, you should have just told me. But no, so okay, so perfect. So they did the Airbnb, they did the VRBO, they did the booking. So now, right? What would you say like a typical average of profit you would say per Airbnb or per short-term rental or midterm
that
rental
you should look for?
Yeah,
I'd say I'd like $2,000 at minimum. I think that is like, because whatever your overhead is, I don't like people, at least for my mentees, when they're first starting off, I tell them, try to make sure your overhead is not over $2,500 or over $3,000.
Right.
Because that's important. You're still paying your rent, you're still paying your utilities, and you're paying your cable. So you want to make sure that you are definitely able to make profit. I've never seen an Airbnb really make less than $5,000 or less than $6,000. So it's like, you can definitely, if your overhead is low, you can be definitely profiting that $2,000 to $2,500 a month, or even more, because that will still be during slow season.
Right.
So when it gets peak season, when it's summertime, now you're making $4,000 in profit, $5,000, and it can go higher as well, depending on if you get those type of stays where you have them insurance people coming in, and now you're like, oh, this is so sweet. Like, I just sit back and I got someone paying $8,000 for a month.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I was gonna ask her real quick. I know you talked about some of the insurance companies before, like, or if you want to give out, right? Some of those insurance companies that you work with or look to work with, or Like, how do you even source some of those things?
So the first one that I got, so one I do, like when I go to networking events, I do tell them what I do, and sometimes you'll find people there. One, I'm trying to think of one right now. Man, I wish I would look. Can I look it up? It's in my email.
Yeah.
There's one company in my email.
It's fine.
I'll give it to them. There's actually, you have a few, like sometimes they'll write you on Airbnb, and then you also network as well. And then sometimes I just look them up on Google. Like I really do. I go on Google and I'm looking up different companies, especially when it's slow season. Because slow season, I love a midterm guest for those seasons. That's what I recommend everyone do. When you know, okay, fall is about to start looking for your midterm guests. Go on Furnish Finders because they'll be up there as well.
Furnish Finder, yes.
Yeah, they hit you up there as well. Sometimes it's not just the nurses writing you, it'll be the actual companies as well. Yeah. So that, I think once September comes, that is the moment you start. Once August comes, that's the moment you start looking for your midterm guests.
Gotcha.
Because when the spring and summer comes, your short-term rentals that's it.
It's
You'll
all
be
booked
Gucci.
up.
Yeah.
So we help people access capital, right, to put in their business, whether it's real estate, whether it's short-term rentals and things of that nature, right? So a few things that we always run into is people not having a plan. They always want all this money, 100K, 150K, 200K.
Yeah.
They'll come back next year. Can I get another 100K? They done lost it all. They're in debt. So you going about this plan when you first started your short-term rental business. Did you have a mentor? Did you have guidance so you won't just take that Chase in car, swipe it all up, and now you're in debt? What was your guidance in really scaling this business?
So I took a few people classes. Some of them were good, some was eh. I really learned through experience, because I never had someone really sit there and guide me with the short-term rentals. I really learned through experience. And then I had a friend, his name is Ron. We literally were starting at the same exact time. So we were literally helping each other. And he blew up. He got so many, maybe 70 Airbnbs right now. He does a lot of co-hosting. So it's we're always able to pour into each other. But as far as someone really sitting down, having a real mentor for short-term rentals, I didn't have that. I had a mentor with credit repair. I had a mentor with real estate, but not with short-term rentals. I really did it.
You got it out the mud. You got it out the mud.
That's amazing.
But what's special about you? You're a real network and marketer. That's another thing. So you network a lot, you market a lot. So I could see you being a sponge and taking up a lot of information.
Yeah.
Being that you have this experience, you currently have a mentorship, right?
Yeah.
So what are you giving your mentees, and how are you able to get them started for them to blow up, for the people that's out there that's interested in getting into short-term rentals?
So I like you said, when you were talking about a business plan, that is the most important thing. Knowing, okay, you're getting this money to do this. And then with this money, you're going to make X amount of money. What is the plan? What is the end goal? Like I said, I feel like ownership should always be the end goal. So we're making money. Some is going to the side. Some is paying off debt, and you're profiting, being able to do whatever you want with the rest. And so that's what that looks like. On the mentorship, I'm very detailed, very, very detailed. So I go through every single thing.
Well, yeah, the spreadsheet, even when you were talking about the spreadsheet.
Yeah, a budgeting spreadsheet, how much you're spending, and then it goes into deeper in every single part of the apartment. How much are you spending it in the kitchen, in the bedroom, the supplies that you need, the checklist. So everything is very, very detailed. Coupons, how to save money. Then we're going into, like I said, the vision boards, and just how to talk to the clients, how to talk to landlords and property managers. So we do scripts, everything. So it's very much hold your hand. But I'm trying to make it more where it's you can watch and then ask questions instead of it being more one-on-one.
Okay, so she's trying to scale.
Yeah.
She's in the scaling method.
Yeah, I know what that means. I know what that means.
Exactly what that means.
I know what that means.
Yep, she's in the scaling method. So that means you have a lot of great results, right? And that means that now you're trying to make it where you can touch more people in the sense of now more people can be able to watch your videos and be able to understand and articulate exactly what you're trying to say to be able to grow and scale your business so they can grow and scale their business.
Yeah, because even the mentees that I've had, they're now teaching people as well. Right. And they've had really great results. One of my mentees, Stephanie, she started in Houston, and it was so nice. Now she has 2 more in Vegas. And she's even telling me go to Vegas, the market is so good. So I'm okay, I'm going to look in there. Wow. And I do definitely recommend for people to also look into Scottsdale, Arizona. That's a really great location. That was the next place I was going to look in. And then one of my other mentees, she's also teaching now too. And she started in Philly, and now she has some in Philly and in Jersey.
Oh wow.
Got you.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I had my I have an investment property in Jersey, and that's originally what I started with. I didn't do regular rentals. I did short term rentals, Airbnb. Well, I actually did traveling nurses because traveling nurses fell into my lap first.
Okay.
And then switched over to short term rental, then midterm, like you said. So I definitely understand the business. What did you see right now that you're doing, especially in the mentorships and things like that? What did you see that is able to help transform your business from what you're doing now, right? Because obviously I hear you're saying, you have the budgeting sheets, you have all of these things, right? You have the experience. So what is it that caused you to look at your business from a different lens now, opposed to just being in it now, trying to look from it on the onward position?
I would say maybe like wanting that time freedom as well. So it's like not having to spend so much in the business and not also having to invest as much, because now I do a lot where I'm working with landlords and I'm co-hosting on their properties and I'm still making money. So I don't have to be the one actually investing money in.
Right.
I'm still making money by doing what I already know in my head.
Right.
So that's definitely helped me as far as that transition with my business and like where I want to take it to now. And I don't know. Say the question again.
Well, it's just more so.
I guess what was that shift that really excelled you?
Exactly.
Like I know you're doing the business, right? And correct me if I'm wrong if I'm saying it right.
No, you are.
You're doing the business, right? But what was that breaking point where it took off and you like, this is what I'm focused on and this is my path?
Exactly. Like, what is your 100%?
Real estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I want to say that moment. I'm gonna be very honest. I feel like when I had that talk with God and I really told him to plant me where He wants me to be, it's like the opportunities just started flowing, and it was like, okay, this adds up with this. This goes with this. My Airbnb business is doing good, and so is my regular real estate business. But everything I'm doing in my real estate business still also ties back into this. So it was like, this is where I'm at, and this is where I'm gonna put all my focus on. Like this is where He wants me to be. I think literally just incorporating God into every aspect of your life. So into your business, letting Him know, okay, put me where you want me to be. Don't let me do the things I want to do. What are the things you want me to do? How do you want me to impact? Because I feel like where He wants to take me is a place of impact and impacting so many other people, not just creating wealth for me, but creating wealth for others as well.
Okay. I didn't realize how faith driven you were. Just recently, right? Recently, I was speaking to her. She said, I'm having a Valentine's Day event. And I said, I didn't know. I'm a little late to the game. I said, there's a bunch of single women with no Valentines. Like, what's that? She was like, no, something like that, but not really. This is actually an event, you were throwing for women, and it was faith driven, right?
Yeah.
You guys were having prayer meetings and things like that. Break down how special that event was and what it's really about.
That event was beautiful. It was just thebomb.com. So that event was through a Galentine's. It was called Proverbs and Pajamas. Proverbs is a book in the Bible. It's actually the book of wisdom. So everybody came with their pajamas. All the girls came. They had snacks. I had food catered. And in that moment, it was like...
You had it at your Airbnb.
I actually had it. Look how good God is. I didn't have it. My Airbnb was booked. The one in Long Island, that one was booked. My broker allowed us to have the event in a house that he's selling.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yes. So one of the houses he's selling, he allowed us to have the event there.
And that showcases the house itself.
Yes. And
so
actually one of the ladies was like, can they buy it? So they wanted to buy the house. So anyways, with the event, that was just beautiful. It was mainly about, focusing on seeing ourselves the way Jesus sees us, the way Christ sees us, growing a more intimate relationship with God, and meeting different women that are on that same exact path, that has that yearning and desire to just grow closer to God, and understanding obedience, womanhood, and God's love for us. So that's what it was about. During the event, we had Bible study. We did praise and worship. We had a word given to us, the sermon, and that prayer. We did midnight prayer. It didn't end till 4 a.m.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Yes, it was good. People was crying. It was good.
So I can see it all on your face. So is that kind of part of your mission now that you're in your path of success, right? Mm-hmm. So is that kind of part of your mission, uplifting women, bringing them into God and having them manifest in God through that?
Yeah, it's like, listen, God is doing his thing. And I'm just like, keep showing me the way you want me to go. Keep just guiding my footsteps at the end of the day, because wherever he's taking me, I know it's going to be glorious, and it's going to give all glory back to him at the end of the day.
So let me ask you this, right? Because I met you back in 2019.
He met Bella Bomb. He ain't met Yuhniece.
I met Bella.
He met Bella.
That wasn't Bella?
Right?
Yeah, God told me to go back to Yuhniece.
that wasn't Bella?
That was not Bella. I just want to say. We being transparent on this podcast.
Yes, we're being very transparent.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That was Bella. That was not Yuhniece.
Yeah.
Okay. You know
So-
Bella. I know Yuhniece.
So what happened, bro?
Yeah.
Between
That's a good
Bella
question.
to Yuhniece, like what happened that got you back to Yuhniece and to doing this mission that
Yeah,
you're
the
on,
person
which
God called me to
is
be.
amazing,
Yeah.
right? What happened? Like what shift, not in just mindset, but what happened in your life that allowed this? Like I understand you told me
to
about
have a yearning.
exactly
Mm-hmm.
because to love God and to have faith and things like that, I do as
Right.
well, right? But to have a yearning, right, like you say,
Mm-hmm.
for that mission, for that faith, for that for that drive, right,
Mm-hmm.
is something different. It's something that shifts in you. So what happened? Did something happen specifically?
Well, yes, but what I can pinpoint is, like, literally, when you know me, that was not me. And then
Right.
in 2023,
yeah,
it wasn't even that bad.
All right.
Okay.
If y'all know Bella, y'all know Bella. If y'all know Yuhniece, it's a different person.
Like I keep saying, I know Yuhniece.
Thank you
Well,
for
go ahead.
knowing me, Brandon. Anyways, back in 2023, I went to a church. I went to KFT. I don't know what it's called, Kingdom Full Tabernacle. It was in Connecticut. My best friend brought me there, and I've had church hurt when I was younger. So, like, I was definitely not the type to be like, yeah, I'm going to go to a church. Like, I love God. God loves me. And, like, that was it. Like, you know, and I'm a good person.
Right.
But when I went to that church, I felt so connected. I'm like, And my best friend at the time, she was on her spiritual journey. And I was supportive of it, but I just was like, that's cool. Like, you know, that's cool.
Do your thing.
Yeah, I bought her a journal. I'm like, yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
And then when I went to the church, I was just like, I started feeling that calling. Like, I just started feeling that desire. Like, okay, I think, is God calling me or something? But, like, okay. So, that's when I started my walk with Christ. But I was not consistent with my walk. I was not consistent at all. I was very much a lukewarm Christian. I was reading the Bible here and there. My best friend, she actually wound up buying me my first Bible. So I got my first Bible in 2023.
Amazing. Shout out to your best friend.
Yeah, shout out to Jen. And I was reading it sometimes. I would journal sometimes. And then I would still be in the world. Like, I was still doing whatever it is I wanted to do.
Bella. Yeah, you was being Bella.
I was being Bella. There we go.
That's it. That's the best way you can put it.
Yep. And so it was like times where it's like, okay, I think I'm doing one thing, and I'm like, okay, well, like, yeah, like, I'm a Christian, but it's like I'm still sinning too. So it's like, just because I'm not doing one thing, but then I'm doing the other, it don't make me.
Yeah, don't correlate.
Exactly. So it was just kind of productive, and then time went by. So that's 2023. 2024 come. 2024 come. I'm like, no, I'm gonna start again. Da, da, da. So, like, for like.
So you was like the workout people in the beginning of the year. The people that you don't like.
Yeah, people that I hate. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm gonna get closer to God again. But it was like I never went away from him, but I just felt like his spirit just kept calling me closer and closer. 2024, I was really doing whatever I wanted to do. Especially in the summertime, I was doing whatever I wanted to do.
Ain't 2024 just passed?
Yes, it just passed. I'm not gonna lie.
You just met Yuhniece. I ain't gonna hold you.
You just made it. No, because as I keep telling the story, it's gonna all come.
I'm listening.
Nah,
I'm
Bella
listening.
was outside.
I'm listening.
I knew who Bella was.
I'm
Okay.
listening.
Anyways.
I'm waiting for the turnaround.
Yeah. But
It's quite close too.
Yeah, it's a little close here.
it is close.
Go ahead.
But listen, I'm here to stay on this path. That's all I know.
Okay.
So 2024 is happening, and I just kept feeling like when August came, I literally kept feeling like I need to be separated. Like, I need to go in isolation mode. I just kept feeling like that, but I'm also a person, I feel like, no, I want this person to come with me and grow with me. And so I'll be wanting to take people along with me. But it got to a point where I started like having just all different kinds of emotions in my head. Like I was easily irritated, easily offended. Like I was just not a cool girl. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna really withdraw from everything. Like I need to withdraw from everything because it's easy to blame other people. Oh, this person made me feel like this, that, and the third. But I'm like, no, it's me. I'm bugging right now. Like I need to chill out. Wow. And when I did that, I really sat there and got dedicated. Like I just got so intimate with God. Like just revealed to me emotions I'm going through. Casted down emotions and things like that, and he definitely did reveal them to me. And this is December, so we're in December, and that whole month I literally spent that month in isolation, not speaking to anyone until like my best friend's birthday had came. And when her birthday came, I started talking to people and stuff. And in that moment, I just felt so good. Like I felt very renewed, and I knew God, he had wanted me to stay in like that consecration period. But my birthday's in January. So when my birthday came, like, I was outside. Not, like, outside, but, like, I did dinners. I was conversing with people, speaking with people. And then I had a whole girls' night and things like that. And literally the day that we went out to dinner, that same day we went out to dinner, that was January 31st, I said, while we was there, I was like, I'm starting to fast tomorrow. Like, I already knew that. I was like, I'm starting.
Yeah, you said it. You said it to us.
Oh, I told you guys?
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Well, I don't know if Brandon remember. I remember I remember you saying it to me that you were starting to fast and everything. So this is your last time eating.
Yeah.
So you did a lot of self-reflecting and realized the path you was chosen to be on.
Yes.
And that's where you're at now.
Yeah, it's like I'm literally like I'm inconsistent in my walk, and I don't want to be that way. And God, you are just so faithful, and you have really had mercy on me and just given me grace. Like how disobedient of me, like how disrespectful of a daughter I am. Like I need to just really lock in with you. And then when I started my fast, it was just literally just me and God, and he revealed so much to me. Things were broken, breakthroughs happened. It was a lot. I did a 10-day fast, and I started the first 3 with just water, then the next 4 just with like fruits and nuts and stuff like that. Then the last 3 again with just water. And yes, he is so faithful. God is so good.
No, that's very powerful. I'm proud of you. That's very powerful.
And when I tell you this month, well, last month now, the month of February in itself has been a month of breakthrough and a month of blessings. The way so many things just started coming together, deals that was falling apart came together, and literally everything. And not just like financial wise, really stuff with me personally, with my family. Like, God, it's just so good.
So one thing I noticed, like, is regardless of what you was going through, right, you were able to remain consistent. So I think one thing that me and Tevin, have over a lot of people in our partnership, we've been able to stay consistent in what we do, focus and consistent on what we do, whether we going through things personally, professionally, we work as a team and stay consistent. So even in your Bella Bomb phase and your Yuhniece now, your path, I've seen you've been able to still business-wise stay consistent. I think a lot of people out there struggle with consistency in order to grow. So how are you, regardless of what you had going on in your personal life, the demons you were battling, how are you still able to stay consistent in business and still be successful to where you're at now?
Being innovative and literally knowing, like, this is it. Like, there's no 9 to 5. There's nothing else backing me up. Like, this is what I got. So I got to use the resources I have, whether in my head or the people around me, and I got to make this work. And it's going to work. And literally just always educating myself, too. I'm forever a student. I don't always think I know it all because I don't. So I'm always educating myself on what I can do better. I think a lot of it, too, with being consistent in business and not giving up on yourself has to do with, like you were saying, that self-reflection and personal development. You have to be able to take criticism, knowing, okay, I can do better at this. The way I take my business, especially my real estate business, is I love it so much because I feel like I learn every single step of the way. Anytime I'm doing something, it's literally an experience and I learn from it. So it's like I did this, and this deal winded up getting pushed back a month, but it got pushed back a month because of X, Y, and Z. So now I know next time around with the next person I work with, I have to make sure X, Y, and Z is already taken care of way ahead of time. So it's like I'm consistently learning from the business. I don't get it. I don't take it like, man, like this is, no. Every time something happens, I'm learning from it and I'm correcting.
Got you. So you're constantly elevating.
Yes, exactly. And you have
Constantly
to.
elevating.
As an entrepreneur, you have to. And you have to consistently work on yourself, your customer service skills, your people skills, your sales skills, your marketing skills. So it's like, it's definitely an internal thing as well. You can't be not putting in the work with you and then expect your business to be flourishing.
Yeah.
You are the business.
That's amazing. I you know what? You know, it's funny. I consistently hear this in between all the guests that we have, right? Not only just the hard work that they're putting in, but the consistently learning, right? And also it has to work or it has to work, right?
Yeah.
We hear this with every guest that we always interview all the time. What does it look like for you now? And this is a question that we like to ask all the time. What does it look like for you now, 5 years from now, for Yuhniece? Not Bella.
Bella gone. Bella dead.
gone. Yeah,
Bella
Bella
dead.
Bella dead.
You know what? Now that you said that, I think I might have met Bella.
No.
Now that I'm thinking about it more, I met Bella.
Look, we're at Yuhniece. This is Yuhniece.
And I started talking to Yuhniece. I met Bella. I started
Ooh.
talking to
go.
Yuhniece.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that.
I met Bella. I started talking to
I like
Yuhniece.
that right there.
Yeah.
So what is
'Cause
5
we actually-
years?
Yeah.
No, he definitely met Bella. What does 5 years look like for you now? The next 5 years.
Because you'll be 25 in 5 years, right?
Well, yeah, keep you young. Yeah.
Keep me young, please, child.
But go ahead.
I have a husband by then, right?
We gonna get to that. Okay.
No, don't worry. That's next.
I mean, is that what it looked like? Break it down.
Listen, it's literally God's will. Whatever His will is over my life. But I do know within the next 5 years, it's not gonna be playing small at all. It's definitely gonna be impact. I see me really impacting a lot of women audience and really taking people to the next level. Like, I really want to grow. I want to impact my community in a positive way. And I already see what I do alone in my business impacts people's lives in a positive way. So I just see that definitely growing. I see a team. I see a lot of scaling.
Hold on. Let's break that down. Let's break it down because there's a lot of different parts to it, right? Yeah. I want to break it down. So team-wise, right? Because a lot of people always, when they start scaling, right? They're starting to scale their business. They're always solopreneurs, right? What we like to call solopreneurs.
Yes.
It's them working, doing everything. You are always doing that. You are always going to be your own worst enemy. You're always going to hold your business back trying to do everything. Mm-hmm. How do you start to scale and start to hire different people around you? Did you start putting money to the side? Like, how did you start that process? And what does scaling look like you team-wise?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. So I'll break it down for each thing. So like with Airbnb, what it looks like, and then with my real estate business, what it looks like. So currently right now with the Airbnb, that looks like me making sure I have my cleaner. My cleaner is the cleaner I have. She's also electrician. So she does that. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then so she handles anytime something is wrong with electric work. That's that. The next thing I have an appliance technician, and then I have my handyman. So that right there, that is all I need, especially when it comes to me being in New York and having Airbnb in Nashville. So she's my eyes of the property. Every time a guest comes in, every time a guest leaves, she got a checklist that she follows. I know what's missing. I know what's not. I can see if the place is left a certain way. If I need to file a claim, I can file the claim with Airbnb. If something's wrong with the refrigerator or anything, I have my appliance technician. They come in. I don't have to be there. That is completely automated. So that business is completely automated. That is what scaling looks like for that business. And then if I want to grow in that state, it's just having more things, and then I still have that team. If I want to grow in another state, it's having a place and building the same team that I've already built in Nashville.
So can you name that, before you move on, can you name the team you need to have?
Yes, so you need a cleaner. Your cleaner is the eyes of your property. You need an appliance technician in case anything goes wrong with the things in the property. Then you need your handyman. Your handyman is that person that's helping you once set up. They could either set up while you're there or without you being there, or if anything gets broken, they can go ahead and fix it. And I think those three people right there, that is literally, that's your business. You got your security camera too, so that's it.
That's the security team right there.
and that's really all you need to have a functioning, running, and automated short-term rental business. you need that, and then you just keep
What-
scaling as far as getting more units.
So what are you using any apps specifically?
Programs,
Or
apps.
programs, apps in order for you to help scale?
I have Price Labs. There was another one that I didn't start using, but I wanted to. But it helps with I see it a lot.
With the data or statistics?
Yeah.
AirDNA?
No, I use AirDNA, period, as far as looking for the comps for property. And I tell my mentees to use that too, because that will help you know if this place that you're looking at is even profitable or not.
Right.
You look at the occupation, the occupancy rate. You look at the daily rate, and then what it can make yearly. So by that, you can know what you're going to make monthly, and then if it's profitable for you, depending on your rent and how much your budget for utilities. So AirDNA is used. Price Labs is used as far as automating the prices for you, so you're not using the Airbnb smart pricing. Price Labs will actually, say if there's a concert going on in a certain state, like Nashville, they have a whole bunch of concerts. They have Beyonce, Taylor Swift. I didn't even know all those people was coming out there, but Price Labs knew, so they automatically had priced my Airbnb higher on those specific days.
So events and occasions and all that, you know how to take advantage of holidays.
Correct.
Yes.
And those automated systems would do that for you. Now, there was another system that I did want to use. I didn't look into it yet, but it's just basically helps as far as managing everything all in one. I didn't feel like I really needed it yet, but I wanted to look into it, because as I get more of the co-hosting side, then we definitely going to have to move over there.
Okay, so you basically just telling me like I messed up selling the house right by the UBS. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Bad. You messed up bad.
I mean, I invested the money properly, but no, that's amazing, right? That's amazing. You're very well versed, very well knowledgeable inside of the space specifically, right? Obviously, we know what the 5 years look like, right? What do we have coming? You gave us the 5 years.
No. She added something in the 5 years she didn't get to yet.
Oh,
okay.
Oh yeah, the husband.
She said she wanted a husband.
Husband. Okay.
So
This God's will. Nah, it is though.
it is God's will.
I gotta turn.
So being that you superwoman over here, right?
Yep.
You super successful. You're super young. What is that life in 2025? I'm glad I'm out the game. I'm glad I'm married. He married.
It's
But
over.
I'm hearing horror stories. What does it look like for a successful woman?
That face alone says it all.
And being that's something you want,
Yeah.
how are you going about it, and how's the process?
Not only that, you're God fearing as well. So
Yeah, so
I
my
know it's
whole
a
attraction is different now.
exactly.
Break that
what
down.
I like is
Break that
completely
down.
different now. Like,
What does that mean?
like I know my husband, I know my man, he is going to be a God-fearing man. That's one.
But in 2020, so sorry,
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but
ahead.
in 2024, that wasn't not something that you weren't looking for, but it's something that wasn't a requirement.
Something Bella was looking for.
In 2024,
Bella was
2024 it was still a requirement. I would say
Even 23,
before I started my walk with Christ.
20.
hell no.
He tried to dig. He tried to keep digging.
It wasn't a requirement back then.
Break down what that look like.
No, but yeah, break down what that looks like now.
I feel like once I started the walk, it was like, okay, I know I want a man, at least a husband. Because you see, before,
You
in
wanted a man.
2023, I also felt like, okay, it's going to be years before I find my husband. So I'll probably like have boyfriends and stuff like that. But no, like now it's like, no, I know like it's husband next. Like,
What does that mean?
It means like, is husband next.
Okay, gotcha.
But as far as like what I feel like, my wants, you mean? Or
Yeah, like what's
Okay.
your wants? Like what are the qualifications, or what are those? I don't know.
How does he match who Yuhniece is?
Yes,
Okay,
like compare
okay.
the comparabilities.
so
like
he's
what
How does he match who
He's
Yuhniece
a
is?
God-fearing man. He is he's a romantic man. He's reassuring. He is a safe space, and he makes me feel safe, so I could be submissive, because I do want to be a submissive woman to my man. I want to be a submissive woman to my husband. So he definitely makes me feel safe. He's romantic, and he's reassuring. He's able to lift me up when I'm down. We able to really build each other. That's what I see that being. Like, we're able to literally hold each other up, hold each other accountable, and, be real partners. And we're able to build. We're going to build an empire. And as far as, like, I want to say, like, money-wise and stuff like that, I don't really know, because he could be a 9-to-5er with a good career job. Or he could be an entrepreneur like me. So
He just has to be walking in his path. That's all that matters.
Yes,
right? He has to be
and-
focused.
yes, he
Yes.
is focused. He's diligent. He's focused, and he is disciplined. He's disciplined because like when I look at him, I'll be motivated. I'll be like, let me get on my Zoom real quick. That's what I see when I see my man. Yeah, let me get on my Zoom. Did you see my man right there?
So there you go. Don't be filling out no applications, but
It's in the comments. In the comments, you could.
But nah,
Yeah.
that's very powerful. I'm very, very happy to have met you, and also to be in your space as you're on this path, and also to help
As
you in
Yuhniece.
your path, to help you grow. Any clients, any issues you have that we can help you with, we're also here for. So for people that's trying to tap in with you to grow their real estate business, to grow their short-term rental business, how can they tap in?
You guys can find me now on Instagram at Yuhniece. That is Yuhniecee with an extra E, because someone tried to take my name. Like, I don't know what was wrong with them. But yeah, so you can find me up there. And I have a link in my bio. You can hit me up whether you need your apartment rented, whether you're trying to buy or sell, whether you're looking for an apartment, and whether you're trying to get into the Airbnb industry.
You have a mentorship, right?
Yeah, so like that's why I told you we transitioned it to the
The automated
Okay.
stuff.
yeah, it's the
Okay.
automated. So right now we're not
Okay.
promoting one-on-ones.
Okay, got you,
We're
got
not
you.
promoting one-on-ones.
Got
but,
you.
when that time does come, where the automated part is finished, yeah.
And
That's
what's the next best thing for Yuhniece? What's going on in 2025?
Oh, 2020.
What's the goal for just this year?
Just this year? This year is literally walking in my calling. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like walking in my calling, and continuously just in maintaining the blessings that God has already given me with my Airbnb business, with my real estate business, the relationships that He's given me, my clients, just maintaining the blessings so that way He could bless me with more.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, this is another great episode.
Crazy great episode.
Crazy great episode. Especially with somebody that's in the New York real estate market, right?
That is making money.
It's making money. That's the perfect word, because there's a lot of agents, there's a lot of investors, right, in the New York real estate market. I mean, we was all told to say that, right? When you're coming up in real estate, you all told to say, hey, I'm a real estate investor, right? But you're actually making money in the New York market, Tennessee market, wherever your mentees are, right? Because that's just a correlation of who you are, right? And the information that you've given to them. So thank you, right? Thank you. And just keep being a light and keep walking in your purpose. We appreciate you. We're going to sign out of this episode. Listen, y'all, if y'all have not subscribed to the podcast as yet, go ahead, click that little bell at the bottom or wherever the subscribe button is at. Make sure you like, comment, share, right?
And put your notifications on.
Yes. Make sure you put your notifications on, because we're gonna have another episode coming. We got some shorts coming, right? Breaking down some of the episodes, and we got some more and more episodes coming for you guys. So listen, y'all. This is Tevin Facey. I'm Tevin Facey on Instagram. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, Millionaire. That's plural. Millionaires with an S. Essentials on Instagram. All right.
And I'm Brandon, the provider. This is another great episode of Millionaire Essentials podcast. We see y'all soon.
Yes. Peace.